So this morning, I was praying to God about, like, just regularly praying to God, asking Him the whys, because I am a child who asks a lot of questions. I know God, like, she asks so many questions, but I think that's also what He loves about me, because my curiosity gives me answers. And so I was asking God about my current situation, and I was crying, and I was just like, God, I just do not understand, like why I can't hear from you. And then He led me to, so on my board I wrote down Jeremiah 29:11, but something told me to keep going when writing down, so I went all the way down to 13, and 13 ended up being my power scripture for this morning that I didn't even realize, because sometimes we read past scriptures and until you really need it, God doesn't reveal it. But today God revealed Jeremiah 29:13, and it says, you will seek me and you will find me when you seek me with all your heart. And when I wrote it down, for some reason when I spread the all, I had put lines underneath all, but I don't know why I did that when I wrote it. But I just wrote it and I just circled all, because all just stood out. Like, sometimes when I'm reading scripture, I'm writing scripture, there's certain words that pull out to me, and I'll just put some lines underneath it. I don't be knowing why I need it, but today I knew why. And so God had me thinking about like all the trauma and all the things that's been going on in my life since I was in the womb. Literally in the womb, the rejection, being in the womb, the unprotection, and all the things that has been going on in me. And literally my heart is broken. My heart has been broken since the womb. And God was telling me, like, I know I want to give you these things. I want to give you these blessings. And I know that you're seeking my face on this situation, but I need you to seek me with all your heart. And you can't seek me with all your heart if your heart is broken. And so when God showed it to me, He showed me a heart that was like this. Like, this is a heart, but it was like this. And it was a broken heart. And He was like, your heart is just like dangling, like it's broken. And He was just showing me, like, all the trauma, all the depression, all the anxiety is just hanging there. This is not even a together heart. For you to be able to seek me, your heart needs to be filled with me. In order for you to fill your heart with me, you need to heal that baby up. We need to do some work on that heart before I can just go ahead and start blessing you with these amazing things, these promises that I've promised you. And I was just like, dang, God. And I was like, God, it's so hard though. I was like, how are you going to be able to heal? Because I want these things to happen soon, but I'm like, God, how are you going to be able to heal 38 years of heartbreak? Because literally, like, since I was in the womb, my mother was addicted to drugs. And so in the womb, I was being rejected. In the womb, I wasn't being taken care of. In the womb, I was getting hurt. My heart was being broken. And then I come out onto this earth, and then I get rejected from not only my mom but my dad as well. And then I go off into life, and I get put in a situation with a family that rejected me and was rude to me. Then I go into a marriage, and then the same thing happened. And it's just like, God, why did you put so much love inside of me, but yet I have no one to give it to because I keep getting rejected? Like, I'm so confused. I'm like, this is 39 years. How are you going to fix this in a couple of weeks, a couple of months? How long am I going to have to wait for these promises? Because it's going to take a while. And then He reminded me of the story that He had me go to with the man in Matthew 9. I believe it's Matthew 9, the blind man, the man that was born blind. And He was like, if I could take a person who was born blind, if my son can go down, take his DNA, put it on some clay, on some dirt, and make clay with it, and then send him off into the river of scent, and he come out with sight, if he was physically blind and spiritually blind, and within one washing, all of those years of being blinded were taken away, don't you think that my son can do the same thing with that little heart of yours? that little heart of yours, that's nothing for him. For him to change it overnight, that's nothing for him. But you have to do the work. The blind man didn't just sit there waiting for the miracle to happen. He had to go and wash himself. He had to go and follow instructions. So all you need to do is just follow the instructions of your healing. And I was just like, God. Like, and I'm sitting there crying because I'm like, you right. Because he's like, the same word that was sent to the blind man, the same word that I can send to you if you let me. I'm a God of choice. If you want this healing, ask for it. Beg for it. And so it was just such an amazing revelation to me that when God said that to me. But one thing that he also showed me is that I was born with a heart murmur, right? I believe I was born with it. I don't really know. But every time I go to the doctors, they listen to my heart and they say, oh, you have a heart murmur, right? And the funniest part is that, like, if I'm at a teaching school, like if you've ever been to UCLA, they always have residents with the doctor because they're teaching school, so they're teaching, right? And so anytime I go to a doctor's office where there's a resident, like a student or whatever, the doctor hears my heart. They look at me and then they say, oh, you have a heart murmur. And they tell them, here, come listen to this. And so the student is excited because there's not many people with hearts like mine. And they go and they listen and they're like, oh, and they're like, do you hear that? And the first time it happened to me, I was like, nigga, like, why would y'all be just like experimenting on me? But then I remember when I had left, God was like, you're unique. You have a unique heart. And my heart murmur I'm not affected by it. I don't have any problems with it. It's just a thorn in my side. Like, I just have it. But God also showed me that your heart, your testimony is something that teaches healers. Like, healers will not be able to hear a heart murmur unless they hear it from you. There are some people that first time hearing a heart murmur, something that is important for them to know and during their learning, something that their teacher can describe to them, but until they actually hear your heart, they will not be able to hear it. It comes from you. I've given you that gift to inspire, to teach. And I'm just like, and so God had also said to me, like, your heart doesn't beat on the same drum as everyone else's. And so, yeah, no one knows how to love you correctly. But I'm going to send you someone and send you a family and send you people. And I'm always going to put people around you that know how to love on your beat. But the most important thing you need to know is that I love you. Because even though your heart beats different from everyone else's, it still beats for me. And that's why I love you, and that's why you're my favorite, and that's why I chose you, and that's why you're my precious baby girl. And so, yeah. Then I started crying, and I was like, you're right, Jesus. You is so right. That's when you get confident, when you like, you know what, Jesus, you was so right. But yeah, so that happened to me today, and I just wanted to like encourage you guys in the Lord today, and just like, this journey is beautiful. It's scary, but it's beautiful, and I'm glad that God has pulled me back and that he's allowing me to seek his face.